Good morning, Vande Matram. Welcome all of you. Here we are going to discuss on grace. The topic name will be, caption will be identified with the grace. That is the topic of discussion for this glorious morning. So identify with the grace. Some people feel yesterday was Buddha Purnima and today people feel the birthday of Devarsi Narada. Anyway, it has been a Puranic episode, Puranic story. So we can take that way, and it is a beautiful day, it is a brilliant day, and hope is that monsoon has arrived in Andaman Nicobar. So we can expect some relaxation from this scorching heat as you are facing right now. This is a great moment. We are going to have a discussion on grace. Pangu langayate giri mukam karoti pachalam. So this grace we have taken in a very limited sense. Suppose actually we feel we are late to the office, and we must be actually scolded, chided by the officer, and we are praying the Lord something anyhow to come out of this scenario. So and unexpectedly you found that your officer is late to the office today because of this familiar work, or his vehicle got tire got punctured, something is there. So we feel this is a grace. Anyway, this is a grace, but actually grace you can take in a larger term. And not only in a larger term, Mother Sri Aurobindo quoted, grace is not an invention; it is a spiritual experience. Nothing is sold in the market. It is not available in the open market, open space. Something like a big bazaar, Grand Bazaar, Amazon, or somewhere else, Reliance. You can get that way. It is a spiritual experience. So what we have to do, we have to get identified with the grace. Mother quotes, it is the divine grace which makes you progress. Progress means, of course, Tongo lang giri mokam karoti pachalam. So, progress means a spiritual progress, progress towards your destiny. So, only the helper is the divine grace. It is the divine grace which makes you progress, and with the divine grace, you feel the divine joy. So, how can we feel that there is divine grace and is guiding, it is carrying us towards our destiny? So you can feel with the divine grace, you can find a divine joy through divine grace. So, but instead of identifying yourself with the grace which makes you progress, you have to get identified. Divine grace, grace of the divine, that you make you progress, and the ultimately output is divine joy outcome you can feel. But instead of identifying yourself with the grace, you make your progress. You have to identify with the divine grace, then the progress will start. You identified yourself with the ugly thing you want to get rid of. So many things are there, you can feel these are ugly, but most normally what we do, we get identified with the ugly things but not with the real grace. So naturally, it happens not in one or two occasions, it happens, it is the natural process. You feel like it and suffer. Just imagine, suppose you have got a fever, so you have to take a tablet, something like a paracetamol. So instead of taking a true and paracetamol, you are going and taking something that is made out of the flour, something like a bread. So how can we feel that I expect that you are cured from the fever? So like this, this divine grace is the only instrument, only thing that can make you progress, and it will. The output is you will find a divine joy in your face. So that is an experiment you can make if you are just a little conscious. Of course, you can make the little the experiment. If there is divine grace, definitely it is there the divine grace. Suppose is there in the sun on the sky? Yes, it is there because it brings light for you. Can see, you can visibly you can move. That is what the output. So if you are little conscious, you can feel the little divine joy and this origin. This divine joy is originating, emerging from the divine grace. There is something in you which you don't want, something bad. No, initially it has been portrayed ugly, but one reason or another you don't want it. You want to pull it out. That is good. That is bad. So something is bad. Something is ugly. You want to be pulled out of it. Then you identified yourself with the ever so little, which with that thing you feel the pain of the extraction, so it extracts the pain, the suffering. With that, you get identified. That is what the requirement. If, on the contrary, you identified yourself with the divine force, which comes to liberate, divine force whose job is to liberate. That is what the very interesting thing. Whose job is to liberate, and that's what you must take proper care. So, it is the thing, divine grace that liberates. It has got the liberative power. It actually liberates. So, instead of getting identified with the divine force, you are accustomed to be allied with the undivine forces. That is the problem. That is the lacuna with us. And here, you feel the joy of divine grace, because divine grace brings the divine joy. You feel the joy of divine grace, and you experience a deep delight of process, deep delight of progress, deep joy, you joy and a deep delight of progress. That is what you normally feel. That is what the outcome. And towards the latter end, mother reports, that is a nice observation. This is sure sign for you, the sure indication that you identified yourself with. If you are identified with the divine grace, naturally a divine joy will come. There is no doubt of it. And sometimes we claim that divine grace is there. Yes, sunlight is there. It is not choosing that somebody is a sinner, somebody is virtuous. It is not choosing. It is not actually rejecting, not it is getting identified with all this. So here also it is the same thing, same phenomenon, same thing, same way you are moving. You are getting identified with the divine grace, and the output, there is a smile, there is a joy in your face. If you are identified with the forces from below, you suffer. That is a very clear indication. So suppose you have been identified, yes, identification is there. If you are identified with the lower force of the earth, then you suffer. If you are identified with the forces from above, then you are happy. That is the great thing. That is the great symptom from which you can know whether I am identified with the divine grace or identified with these hostile lower forces. That is quite a symptom. You can, from the symptom, you can know itself. You can identify yourself. And at the next step, extent of grace. That is what the topic is very similar, and that is, you must know, you must feel, you must think, you must calculate, you must evaluate the extent of divine grace. Mother tries to explain here. No matter how great your faith and trust in the divine grace, it varies from person to person. Even you don't judge. We feel we are identified, we have faith, because we are moving, because he is carrying us. That is there, but actually it varies from person to person, moment to moment, from situation to situation, from scenario to scenario. No matter how great your faith and trust in the divine grace, whatever is there, no matter how great the capacity to see it at work, if you have the capacity to see how it is working, how long it is working, how much it is working, in all circumstances, at every moment and every point of in life, you will never succeed in understanding the marvelous immensity of its action. Maybe faith and trust, it is there, and finally feel some capacity is there. But the thing is that you must observe under all circumstances, at every point, in every point of in life. And if it is observed, then it is the real thing, can be something, it will be hidden from your view. Anyway, the exactitude of which this action is accomplished will never be able to grasp. because you are staying more in mind, not in the soul. For the divine grace, you have to stay in the soul more. With only purity of mind and the prominency of psyche can be able to judge and guide how it is working, what is divine will, what is divine grace, how it is perfectly guiding us. Like these are the things. So grace that is draws everything, and behind everything organizes everything. Divine grace is everything. It goes everything, does everything. Actually, it is behind everything, organizes everything, conducts everything. So everything, that is what, that simplicity must be there, that trust must be there. It's somehow you will that to be known, that to be measured with the simplicity, not with the mind. If you follow your mind, it will simply derail you. It will make you out of the step that is not possible. So that that the march forward to the divine realization may be as swift, as complete, as total and harmonious as possible. Very interesting, you will know. You will never be able to grasp to what extent the divine grace is doing, does everything, is behind everything, organizes everything, conducts everything. So these things, this idea, this certitude, this trust, this faith is there inside you. Then you are moving, marching forward towards divine realization. And the divine realization is a must for the sadhakas, without which spiritual realization is a must. It is most for the sadhaka to go into the supramental realization. So this divine realization will come. You must have the strong faith that God is all, God is doing everything, God is everything, God is everywhere. You can find the God. God is organizing everything. God is liberating everything. Everything. That grace you can know. That is there. That idea is there. You must think. And here the grace is everything, is behind everything, organizes everything, and conducts everything. If this idea is there, so you are marching forward towards the divine realization, and in a swift way, as complete way, and a total and harmonious. Since swift way, complete, and harmonious and a total way, and considering the circumstances of the world. So that strong faith must be there. Then strong trust must be there. Unshakable faith. Again, mother goes forward. As soon as you are contact with it, initially we have discussed identity. Here, as soon as we are in contact with it, there is not a second in time, not a point in space, which does not show you the dazzlingly the prepared work of the grace. So what we have to do, you have to do. There is you have to be in contact. Suppose you are in contact, so what is going to happen? Not for the second time, not for the point in the space, which does not show you dazzlingly. This perpetual work of the grace, this constant, intervention of the grace, every moment, every time, behind all, whatever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, you will feel that everything is being done by the divine grace, guiding, protecting, organizing, carrying out forward. Everything will be dazzlingly prepared. This you can observe. It can be so. Again, once you have seen this, these are the things: divine presence, divine guidance, divine working, everything. Once you see this, you feel you are never equal to it. You should never forget it. Never have any fears, any anguish, any regret, any recoil. So, for that you don't blame yourself. You don't fear. No, you must not have any fear, any anguish, any regret, any recoil, or even your suffering. In other words, if you were in union with the grace, with the divine grace, grace is capital G. So, if you are in union with the divine grace, if one saw, it is everywhere. This divine grace is everywhere in everything. One could begin living the life of all power and of infinity happiness. So if you can see, divine is all, divine is behind everything, divine does everything, organizes everything, divine is the root of all, the cause of all, divine is the goal. So if this is there, you can find the grace. If one saw it everywhere, it is there everywhere you saw. Wherever you see, you saw it, you found it, then one would begin living a life of exaltation, all power, and infinity happiness. These are the symptoms of the divine grace. It is working, you can find it. And that would be the best possible collaboration in the divine work. Best possible collaboration in the divine work, you must know. For that only, you must have the certitude in the mind. You must have the unshakable faith in you that divine is all, divine is doing all, divine is goal, divine is the beginning, divine is with us. He is behind all, organizing, actually carrying us forward. He is the motive point, in the first point of all. Everything only the divine. Then you can find the all. You can find begin living a life of exaltation of all power and all infinity happiness. Divine joy will be well found in your face. That is all. Vandana.